RSP1A.com. You can send reception reports there, yes. But we always remind you that you have to attach a recording of the program you have picked up in order to receive one of our QSL cards. If you send a reception report via conventional mail, no audio file is required, okay? Just send it to RAE, PO Box 555, and then the postcode, which is CWAF 1000. And then, of course, Buenos Aires, Argentina. Guillermo Vega is operating the program. I am Fernando Farias, and as usual, we'll have the latest news, plus our regular feature of every Friday, the DX Supplement. Let's get started right away with the headlines. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro announced he'll not be attending the inauguration of Alberto Fernandez in Argentina next December the 10th. Washington and Moscow exchanged criticisms over protests in Chile. Argentina's central bank tightened restrictions on the purchase of dollars in cash again. The governor-elect of the province of Buenos Aires demanded that the outgoing governor holds the increase in the electricity cost. Argentine boys and girls celebrated Halloween, a holiday that has been settling in the country over the last decade. The Argentine under-17 soccer team defeated Cameroon in the Brazil 2019 World Youth Championship. And here are the news. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro confirmed he'll not be attending the inauguration of Alberto Fernandez as President of Argentina next December the 10th. This is not a retaliation, the head of state told reporters, and said he was hoping that the new administration will maintain the policies of the incumbent, Mauricio Macri, that Bolsonaro said he wanted to be re-elected in last Sunday's elections. Meanwhile, Argentina and Uruguay have convened their Brazilian ambassadors for statements because of statements made by the President of Brazil and his son, Senator Eduardo Bolsonaro. In this context, Argentine Foreign Minister Jorge Fori on Thursday criticized a publication on the legislators' social networks. A Twitter image this week showed the son of the Brazilian president, Eduardo Bolsonaro, surrounded by firearms on one side, and on the other side of the picture, you could see Stanislao Fernandez, who's the son of Argentina's president-elect, dressed in drag as a drag queen. Foreign Minister Fori said about this, Macri was committed not to discriminate for any reason, neither of ideas nor of thought or gender. Now, we'll see how we are going to transmit our discomfort to the Brazilian government about those statements. The Argentine official also revealed that he sent a letter to Brazil's ambassador to Argentina about the convenience of certain phrases being handled with greater prudence. In any case, the head of Argentine diplomacy sought to lower the tone of the issue in order to maintain the institutional relationship. I believe that the actions of condemning or repudiating made public will only build a great division between us. I believe that we have to build this dialogue, which will be essential for maintaining the links we have and maintaining Mercosur as a dynamic bloc. Stanislao Fernandez himself, in turn, replied on social networks to Eduardo Bolsonaro's post and said, "Brazilian brothers and sisters, we are together in this struggle. I love you," he wrote. Let us remember that the Brazilian president had also regretted Fernandez's victory in Sunday's elections, after which he sentenced Argentina chose badly and assured that he wasn't going to congratulate the one who succeeded. Also summoned the Brazilian ambassador in Montevideo to explain Bolsonaro's statements regarding the elections in Uruguay in the face of November 24 runoff. The Brazilian president had spoken in favor of the victory of conservative candidate Luiz Lacalle Pou, who in any case rejected the Brazilian head of state's remarks about the elections in his country.
No es buena cosa.
It's not a good thing that politicians, and in this case governments or presidents, have an influence on what may happen in another country. If I were president of the republic and there was an electoral process in Brazil, no matter how much I liked one candidate above the other, I would surely wait for the results, because whoever wins, wins. With him, I have to get along well. In other news, the Russian government rejected U.S. accusations of alleged interference in the wave of protests that have been shaking Chile and already left 23 dead. Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov of the Kremlin asserted that Washington takes advantage of the complex internal situation in Chile to continue their attempts to muddy our country's foreign policy. The diplomat responded this way to the denunciation of the U.S. Department of State regarding false Twitter accounts that were registered in Russia, from which the conflict in Chile was being allegedly stirred up. In another order, Chilean President Sebastián Piñera confirmed that the COP25 summit on climate change that his country was going to host this month will be held in turn in Madrid. The president had announced yesterday that Santiago had desisted from organizing the meeting because of the social upheaval that has been reigning in the South American country for the past 2 weeks. Yesterday, I spoke with the President of Spain, Pedro Sánchez, who made a generous offer to host the COP25 summit in Madrid on the same days that it was scheduled to take place here in Chile. Let us remember that Mr. Piñera also reported that for the same reason Chile will not host the APEC summit, which brings together Pacific economies, including the US and Chile. At the same time, in Bolivia, President Evo Morales called for conciliation between his government's supporters and its opponents as part of the controversy over his victory in the elections. I can't understand how a group, after losing the election, can beat their brothers and sisters. They have burned public buildings and institutions. And now I ask sisters and brothers not to harm each other among Bolivian people. Let us recall that Mr. Morales was elected for a fourth consecutive term after winning the elections on October 20, avoiding a second round of elections by a narrow margin. His main rival, Carlos Mesa, refused to accept the results, denounced fraud, and now the OAS is conducting an audit of the ballot. In this context, opposition protests erupted throughout the country, clashing with pro-government demonstrations in a conflict that has already left 2 dead. The Argentine government has reinforced restrictions on the purchase of dollars in cash in order to contain the rise in the currency. The central bank has now decided to limit cash advances to credit card users abroad. From now on, credit card holders overseas will only be able to withdraw up to $50 in cash per month, even though they will not have a limit or a cap when making transactions with their plastics outside Argentina. This measure is in addition to those implemented last Monday, which put monthly caps on the purchase of foreign currency for residents in the country. According to that resolution, individuals, let's recall, can purchase up to $200 per month if that amount is going to be deposited into a bank account, but only $100 per month if that is for cash. According to Argentine media reports, next week the transition between the teams of outgoing President Mauricio Macri and his successor-elect Alberto Fernández will be initiating. Argentine media reports today that Mr. Fernández will hold a press conference next Wednesday upon his return from a visit to Mexico. Nicolás Trota, a leader mentioned as a potential future official in the upcoming administration, revealed in an interview what is going to be the priority of the incoming government.
Establish,
as the president-elect has proposed, a rapid deployment of social policies in communication with provincial governments and social organizations. This is the first urgent decision to face the social situation.
Esa es la primera decisión urgente.
Meanwhile, in the province of Buenos Aires, Governor María Eugenia Vidal received her elected successor, Axel Kicillof, in the capital city of La Plata. The future Buenos Aires leader revealed he demanded Vidal rolls back an increase of 25% in the electricity service fare that she authorized for next January. I asked the governor to take back the proposed rate increase. The governor said the increase had been authorized and planned since last August. Well, I told her that with everything that's going to come in terms of prices, in terms of the increases in private healthcare, and how the people are, in which situation they are, and with the amounts that the electricity companies made, it didn't seem right to me to authorize an increase, and I asked her to roll it back. And this scary music leads us into Halloween. The celebration of Halloween, which is very traditional in other parts of the world, is growing year after year here in Argentina. Although there are many who resist it because they consider it to be a foreign thing, something that is not part of the national culture, the truth is that many boys and girls of this country have already adopted it as another festivity of the year's calendar. Mainly in urban centers like Buenos Aires, kids gather yesterday after school to disguise themselves with terror and monsters' costumes and share a snack or even a Halloween pajama party with their friends. There were also activities in squares and green